Alrighty though. So I took January off from the chess drama, just being a good boy. But I wake up today and I see that there's some juicy stuff on Twitter. And if you're not on Twitter, it's probably better for your mental health. So I will take the fall and share what is happening. Yeah, so it's a dry January for me when it comes to drama. And so, first things first, we have a tweet from the St. Louis Chess Club. And full disclosure, this was totally out of the blue for me. I did not know it was coming. 2:48 p.m., February 2nd, St. Louis Chess Club, a statement. The St. Louis Chess Club is committed to providing a world-class environment for all levels of chess players to play and enjoy chess. At our competitive tournaments, participants are expected to adhere to an agreement that outlines expectations of the players, including a code of conduct. After consideration of recent events, the St. Louis Chess Club has made the difficult decision not to extend an invitation to Grandmaster Hans Niemann to participate in any invitational events organized by the club in 2024. This decision was based on GM Hans Niemann's demonstrated inappropriate behavior, including damaging private property, rude comments, and an uncooperative attitude resulting in a failure to fulfill contractual obligations. This decision was not made lightly, and we hope this serves as an opportunity for GM Hans Niemann to experience personal reflection and growth. We will reevaluate this determination for events in future years, assuming notable progress is achieved. So, I mean, looking at that, a little bit shocked because that's a very public statement that they didn't have to make. They felt compelled to make it. And actually, let me just show you. Like, you can read about, like, let's say one of the first Twitter comments. Be honest, did Magnus force y'all to publish this in order to join the Grand Chess Tour? And if you remember what happened, in my mind, Rex in the St. Louis Chess Club kind of took Hans aside quite a bit, right? I mean, they still invited him to tournaments afterwards, or at least publicly. It seemed like, I mean, I can say for sure that the St. Louis Chess Club isn't like working with chess.com and Magnus for these decisions. They are separate entities and they don't work together. They're not. They have different management and they've definitely not aligned from my experience. So it doesn't have to do with that. Last Singfield Cup, Rex said he's in favor of Hans. Yeah, I think I remember something like that. So, what does this statement mean? Well, um, Hans broke some stuff, right? But for them to publish a statement, it kind of means that the fallout of that wasn't very favorable. Like he left a bad enough impression, or things got worse in private communication that they decided to just ban him, which is pretty unprecedented. Um, it's not it's not the biggest secret, um, really, from what I understand. But I heard he broke some things. But I make some bad chess moves. I've broken some things, although they're usually my things. The mice, the keyboard. In my past, I've thrown a few things. We've all done it before, but it's been my own stuff. Clearly, it wasn't his own things, right? So, did he break some egos? I don't know. That stuff I really don't know. I don't have the inside scoop on that. But but private property would mean like, did he break something in the St. Louis Chess Club, hotel room, or one of the other properties close to the chess club? And then even if that happens after a bad day of chess, usually you can apologize and pay the fine and really try to mend things over, presumably. Tegan says probably destroyed his hotel room. That's a very good guess. Um, that's a very good guess. That's it's just a bit of a surprising turnaround because I thought St. Louis was going to invite Hans. Usually when this kind of statement comes out, it means you've pissed off somebody high up. That they're like, we don't want to work with you anymore. Like it's just been severed, the relationship. It's like in how you react to the situation must have pissed somebody off, trashed some things, and yeah. But I've been told there's a new tweet out from Hans. Mannered Monkey says it comes down to what he broke for me. Well, the latest tweet that we have here, 26 minutes ago, says, from Hans Niemann, I'd just like to immediately clarify how completely inaccurate this is. I will be posting a full detailed video going through the entire timeline since fall 2022 and how the St. Louis Chess Club has treated me since then. In all of 2023, I received 0 invitations to tournaments. I think he's referring to that because the US Championship, which he played, he earned the spot from rating. So it's not considered like an invitation. There is show more. Oh, you're right. I forgot the Twitter has longer posts now. In all of 2023, I received 0 invitations to tournaments and could not even get a response to an email or call for months on end. I was assured shortly before the US Championships that I was not blacklisted by the club and receive invitations for in 2024. I was assured that my relationship with the club was fine and was never made aware of any inappropriate behavior or rude comments. Their claims about not fulfilling contractual obligations are ridiculous as well. During the US Championships, after a disappointing draw, I politely declined to do an interview. I agreed to all other interviews, and as you can see on their website, my interviews brought a lot of attention to the tournament. At the closing ceremony, I apologized to Joy Bray, and she said that it was okay and she appreciated my apology. This is only an excuse that they have now conjured up their decision to blacklist one of America's brightest talents. After weeks of ignored emails and calls, they have gone ahead and posted this letter after I've tried to resolve the situation privately. They seem to be committed to ruining the career of one of America's brightest talents. Drinking game. Brightest talents, you gotta sip. Just kidding. I will not let this blatant disinformation continue and will address everything in detail as soon as possible. Let's not be deceived from the truth. I've been attacked and blacklisted from absolutely every angle. I will not be silenced, and I will ensure that the truth prevails. Full video explanation soon. Okay. So it sounds like here Hans disagrees and just felt they were blacklisting him. But I'll go back to one point that it seems like some people in chat already know about, but whether or not it's true, Hans totally trashed his hotel room with a lot of damage. That is not super private. So that is not referenced here whatsoever. If that happened. If that didn't happen and he just missed an interview, a lot of chess players have been moody and skipped interviews before. I try to always make the interviews, so I haven't, even when I lose. But it would be very odd for Hans to be blacklisted for just missing an interview. Because he's not the first and he's not the last. And if that's the case, then he would feel like he's being treated poorly. But the St. Louis comment has to do with damaging property. So I mean, I think that's, but they won't mention damaging property. Well, the St. Louis comment did. They said damaging private property, rude comments, and an uncooperative attitude. I mean, this is the thing with chess. Chess historically has a few tournaments that you qualify by rating. You qualify by rating or by merit. That's like, it could be like the World Cup, World Championship cycle, national championships, things like that. But top tournaments, Tata Steel, Norway Chess, doesn't matter. A lot of those Sinkfield Cup are invitation based for the most part, or historically they were, which means you need to, if not make friends, be on good terms with the organizers and be good at that aspect of it. Um, there is part of that because there's a lot of top players and not enough spots. So you if you're just don't have good relationships with the tournament organizers, yeah, they can invite somebody else around your rating. There's plenty of talented players to replace you with. So something happened to totally sever the relationship. Um, all I've really heard is about trashing a hotel room. How is trashing a hotel room related to chess? Um, I can say that another top level tournament um, has banned a player for totally trashing, or like pretty much has not invited a player for really going a bit too far, from what I heard, with their room and stuff like that. Just like, you know, then the organizers, you trash a hotel room and the organizers booked it and you don't do anything about it. They foot the bill and they have a harder time getting those good hotel room rates the next year. I mean, everything is relationship based, right? So it could just be you could mess up a hotel room so badly or treat somebody so badly that they don't want to do business with you anymore. That could be the hotel and the organizer, that could be organizer and player. There could be a few possibilities. So I've only heard about the hotel room. Apparently on Reddit, people are posting about that as well. And I'm pretty late. I haven't been to St. Louis in like a year and a half. There might be some locals, but with more information. But anyways, um, even if you mess up a hotel room, you'd have to mess it up really badly, right? Not just breaking a couple things. Like if you break a lamp, you can pay for that, but I don't know the extent of it. Um, Chess Twitcher says, "No way, you just pay for it. It's good." That's not how it works. Uh, that's not how it works. You negotiate with hotels during chess tournaments, right? I've run some tournaments in hotels. We have a few people who attended our Mexico camp. But anyways, so I think that's really big news because Hans doesn't have too many invitations supposedly, and in the U.S. you'd expect there to be more. And Rex publicly has kind of spoken for Hans. The Lionheart says, "Is it confirmed that he trashed the hotel room?" I wasn't there. That's just what I've heard. You said the last time people were discussing on this channel that he used anal beads. No, I I didn't say Hans used anal beads. Somebody asked me if you could cheat with anal beads, but I've never once said that I thought Hans used anal beads. If you're reading Twitch chat and taking that for truth, that's your fault. That's your fault. You believe everything you read on Twitch. But yeah, so um, even reading Hans's tweet right now, it seems like they're disagreeing even more, and it's obviously not good to do it publicly. He references Joy. Joy manages the club. She's been there for a long time. There's Joy. There's Tony. That's usually who you'll deal with. So I don't know the specifics there, but I think most things can be fixed, but you fix it in private or you try to make up for it. And clearly, after whatever happened, the resulting communication between Hans and St. Louis Chess Club didn't go well. For them to want to just post it in public, because the public tweet implies that private property was damaged, which makes the hotel rumor seem more plausible. I don't know about the rude comments or things like that. I wasn't there, but yeah, like in chess, it doesn't just go by rating invitation. You do need to have good relationships with organizers. If I get invited to some tournament and I trash a hotel room, I definitely don't expect to be invited back unless I had a very good reason or I really make it up. But yeah, I mean, being banned from the St. Louis Chess Club, they host a lot of the nicest events in chess. And you're listening to a guy, you know, I've um, back in my day, I mean, I worked a lot at the St. Louis Club. You know, I hosted a party once. It was a little messy. Things weren't trashed. It was messy. After that, I was a lot cleaner. That was one of my first years there. Just a nice, friendly party. Um, Cleaned things up afterwards. Took the feedback. Things were resolved. Say, hey, you know, I'll keep the parties down or make sure it's like it's in good state because you got to respect their property. And and on top of that, I have wrestled Hikaru on, you know, in St. Louis. Nothing was broken. We were so respectful. This was afterwards. We were so respectful, Hikaru as well, of the property that we went outside. And that's the truth. We don't like to. I don't like to wrestle inside because you can break things. So you know, I've been there before. There, you know, you you can do it respectfully. You can do it respectfully. Didn't break anything. No harsh feelings. No injuries. Nothing. Nothing at all. Everything was friendly. No strikes. Nothing broken. So I've definitely run parties or been around the property quite a bit in my day, and they've been pretty reasonable. Although I don't think I'd get the green light for more wrestling events, but just don't break stuff and apologize and try to be better, I guess, right? You know, it's your property, that's different. So, anyways, I think whatever it is, I mean, it doesn't look good for Hans, but I'm curious to hear his full video explanation because usually if Rex speaks out publicly in support of you, you that's a good thing. If you're trying to get St. Louis Chess Club invites, Rex is probably the biggest supporter in chess history from by monetary metrics. And St. Louis is a super nice chess club. So yeah, I guess we have to stay tuned for more. But the rumor I'm hearing is about the hotel room being trashed. But I don't know about rude comments or communication. I don't know the inner. I haven't been poking around. I heard this a long time ago. So yeah, that is pretty spicy. That is pretty spicy. I don't know if there's any more tweets here. Let me just check. Maybe something's coming. Oh, that's nice. The St. Louis Chess Club and Hans are both following the chessbrah Twitter, even though we don't post very often. See? Just bridging, bridging chess. Let me reload. Are there any more tweets? Oh. Greatness is eternal. Even if you are forgotten, your legacy lives on through those you inspire. Okay. Something that's pretty deep. Something for me to think about today. Have you guys thought about that? Greatness is eternal. But yeah, yeah, very profound. But yeah, this is the statement that I don't think St. Louis is trying to be in the public too much for chess drama after the Sinkfield Cup 2022. They're not the most public club about trying to just farm things. They're not like an online website as much. So interesting, interesting stuff. But I don't think they're coming out of nowhere. That just doesn't benefit them whatsoever, right? So we're gonna have to find out more because the way Hans is doing it is only encouraging St. Louis to share more of their perspective, and I'm just not sure that's going to be super helpful for his invitations. Matter Monkey says, why couldn't they just tell him, you trashed the hotel room, we're not inviting you anymore. Even if you want to pay damages, check back in a year. Well, why check back in a year if they clearly want something to change, right? So just saying just saying that I mean, again, you have certain things as a company where if somebody crosses the line, maybe you just don't want to work with them anymore. So, anyways, I don't know what's going on there, but there's a catalyst that definitely involved damaging private property. You don't put that publicly without some reason to think that because that's fairly rare in chess. Hey, Tothkin, like, do you think maybe St. Louis posted this because Hans was threatening to take it public? So they want to take the initiative? Is that maybe what you're thinking, Mannered Monkey? Czech Manarov says it's obvious to me that they're doing this so that Magnus will play. I don't think that's the case. I don't think St. Louis and chess.com slash Magnus are in cahoots. Those are totally separate entities and they haven't always been on the same terms. They really haven't. And that's why Rex, I mean, yeah, like I know Rex has generally nothing to do with that. It could make I'm not saying it didn't happen because you can't discount anything. But um somebody who's like worked a lot with both St. Louis and chess.com. In historically they have not worked together very often and it's almost been probably a source of contention. But if you really want Magnus to play, but like again, it still goes back to like damaging private property. Chess tournaments are invitation based, so it's not enough just to have a rating. You want to have good relationships with who you're working with. They'll just invite someone else. So I'm just saying that from Hans's perspective. If you keep burning bridges, it's not helpful. It's not like some other things where it's not like UFC or something where the crazier the remarks you make, the more likely you're gonna get a fight to sell pay-per-view things, or something like that. I mean, there's yeah, you have to still still be respectful to the organizers. But I'm curious to hear what he shares because yeah, I don't know about that stuff. So um, we're gonna find out, but it does seem pretty juicy. I'm just covering this category. I can come back for more chess drama later. But he's a young guy. He's like 20 years old. So even if you don't think you're fully in the wrong, better to be safe than sorry, and try to fix things in private. And if St. Louis didn't want to do that, there's a few different reasons potentially. A, he crossed the line. B, they didn't want to, I don't know, they acted badly. We'll see what he shares, but it's not the end of this episode. Wild Hack says I just don't see any benefit for them posting online. Yeah, they don't normally post online. I mean, if you take it for face value, they're pretty. If you just read this tweet by face value, they're not happy with whatever happened. They didn't like his behavior, and they want him to be better behaved and show that growth in public before inviting him again. He's like a ticking time bomb for them. That's kind of what this would be interpreted as. Um, Magnus doesn't play in that many St. Louis tournaments, so it wouldn't be very hard. If people think they're just doing this for Magnus, there's plenty of tournaments in St. Louis, and Magnus doesn't play most of them. they could just not invite Hans to the Sinkfeld Cup, which is not really rated in any way to be a guaranteed invite. Magnus plays the Sinkfeld Cup, Hans doesn't, and they can still invite him to other tournaments that Magnus doesn't take part in. So you don't need to post a statement just to make Magnus happy. I just don't buy that whatsoever. But yeah, I'm curious if this hotel episode goes public or not, or if it did happen. I wasn't there. Um, yeah, that's all I'm saying. That went way longer than I expected, and reading the Twitch chat isn't helping me. What if I open the Niemann Substack and check I don't subscribe or use Substack, so uh, yeah, that's for you guys. That's for you guys. Nepo tweet? Is there a Nepo tweet now? What's is that related to this? It's not related. It says, oh, it's not related to the Nepo. Yeah, so no, that's all that. But yeah, I'll say the rumors I summarized already. I summarized some stuff. I can do more drama later if it heats up. But this was just surprising to me that it went public. I thought maybe it'd go public through something outside of St. Louis that there might have been a hotel room trashed, but yeah, uncooperative attitude and rude comments. I don't know that he made that to people there at the St. Louis Chess Club, but if St. Louis is posting this publicly, usually if you post it publicly, you're ready to defend it, right? So we're just gonna have to wait and see from St. Louis and Hans. But it's not doesn't bode well for Hans getting more invites. If other organizers are looking at it or sharing info or working together. But yeah, hi Mon.
Hello.
Chess Twitcher says, like saying it was probably a bad personal exchange. Private property doesn't have to do with a bad personal exchange. You just don't need to put damaging private property. Now, if it's just something like he like broke a glass in the hotel room, well, I mean, that would be very light. Uh, I'm assuming it's a lot more than that. And as I said, I've been on the properties quite a bit, and I'm pretty clumsy. And if it was something like that, they wouldn't reference it. So, so yeah. Now on to the regular chess. Until next time. Until more things come out. I will be back. Let me know in the comments what you think as well.